Hello guys, Engineer Josh here, and in this video I'm going to be showing us how to factorize numbers and expressions. So simple factorization just involves you understanding the concept of factors and being able to identify factors in expressions. Alright, so for example, we all know what a factor is, or if you don't know what a factor is simply a number, alright, that can divide another number to give a whole number, alright, to give a whole value. So let's consider an example. Let's say we have 2x plus 3 plus 4. All right, and now we want to factorize this simple expression. So the first thing we actually have to do is to look for common factors between each of these terms. So we have 2x, 3, and 4. We have to look for a common factor that can divide these three terms. Now, in this case, there is no common factor that can divide these three terms, but we can still factorize. We can factorize 2x and 4 because there's a common factor between 2x and 4, and that's 2. So we can rewrite this as 2x plus 4 plus 3. So it simply means the expression we can factorize in this case is just 2x and 4. Okay, so to factorize, simply look for a common factor or a common number, all right, that can actually divide 2x, that can also divide 4. And that factor is 2. Okay, because 2 can divide 2x and 2 can also divide 4. So if we use 2 to divide 2x, all right, we'll write our factor here, then we open the bracket. So 2x divided by 2 is going to give us x, plus now 4 divided by 2 is going to give us 2. So we close the bracket and we still have our plus 3 here. So we have simply factorized this expression. All right, this is the limit to which we can factorize this expression. Now you can also expand this expression back to give you this. All right, you can expand this to give you this by simply using these two to multiply all these numbers we have here. So let's see how to take it back to what it was before. So if we use 2 to multiply x, we have 2x. Then write our plus sign. We still use these 2 to multiply 2, we have 4. All right, then we have our plus 3. So you can see what we have here is still the same expression we have here. So we have 2x plus 3 plus 4 here. We also have 2x plus 4 plus 3. All right, the arrangement of the numbers don't really matter. We still have the same terms. So that's on factorization. Now let's actually consider another example. Now let's say we have 2xy plus 3x. How do we factorize this expression? First of all, we find a common factor between these expressions. So the common factor that we can see here is x, because we can see x here and we can see x in this other term. So we are going to use x to factorize. So it is your factor that you use in factorizing. So you use that factor to divide each of the terms. So write out our factor, open our bracket. So we have 2xy here divided by x. We are going to be left with 2y. Plus we have 3x divided by x. We are going to be having 3. So we have simply factorized this. So this is the limit or the extent to which we can factorize this expression we have here. So how do we actually take this? How do we expand it back to its initial expression? So let's see how we do that. We use this factor to multiply each and every term in the bracket. So x times 2y is going to give us 2xy. Then put our plus sign. X times 3 is going to give us 3x. So you can see we have gotten back the initial expression. Let's consider one more example on this simple factorization. Now we have an expression 7x squared plus 21y squared. So the first step in factorizing is to look for common factors. So what common factors can we see in the term of 7x squared and 21y squared? The common factor is 7 because we can use 7 to divide this and we can also use 7 to divide this. So we write our factor, we open the bracket, we use our factor to divide each term. So 7x squared divided by 7 is going to give us x squared, plus 21y squared divided by 7 is going to give us 3y squared. So we're done. So if we expand this, we'll still get back the initial equation. So the way to check if your factorization is correct is to expand it back. If you don't get the initial expression, it simply means that you have made a mistake while factorizing. So 7 times x squared is going to give us 7x squared plus 21y squared. So we use 7 to multiply x squared, write the value. You still use 7 to multiply 3y squared, write the value. You see, we still arrive at the initial expression. Now we are going to consider expansion of brackets. Okay, we're going to consider an expansion of brackets. So let's take an example. We have 3x plus 2 all raised to the power of 2. Now this is still same as, because all raised to the power of 2 is still same as having 3x plus 2, all right, multiplying 3x plus 2. So what we're simply doing in this case is using all the terms we have in the first bracket to multiply what we have in the second bracket. So we use 3x to multiply the whole of 3x plus 2, which is the second bracket, all right, and likewise we will still use the second term in the first bracket, which is 2, to multiply everything we have in the second bracket, all right. So 3x is going to multiply 3x plus 2, so 3x times 3x is going to give us 9x squared. All right, now we're also going to use 3x to multiply 2. All right, but the sign we'll be having is actually plus, because 3x is multiplying plus 2. You understand? 3x is multiplying plus 2. Okay, so we have 3x times plus 2. Okay, because we are considering sign. So we have 3x times plus 2, and we're going to be having 6x. All right, now we also have plus 2 multiplying 3x, because we are done using 3x to multiply the whole of 3x plus 2. Consider the second term. So plus 2 times 3x now is going to give us plus 6x. Yeah, plus 6x. Now we'll use plus 2 again to multiply plus 2, and that will give us plus 4. So in this case, you can see that we have 9x squared, all right, plus 12x plus 4. So we're actually done factorizing. But now one thing we need to actually consider is that we have factorized this to the lowest form it can be in. But what we have here is what we'll call a quadratic equation. Why? Because the highest power of x in this case is raised to the power of 2. You understand? Now, if we try to get back the initial expression, all right, of 3x plus 2 raised to the power of 2 by factorizing 9x squared plus 12x plus 4, all right, it might not work out by just trying to find a common factor, okay, and then trying to get back the initial expression, because in this case we are going to be applying what we call quadratic equation. So quadratic factorization is what is actually applied. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned so that you receive explanations when I treat that topic. So now let's take another example. Let's say we have 2x plus y, 2xy plus 3, all right, open bracket 4x plus 5. We are going to use what we have in the first bracket.
In the first bracket, multiply everything we have in the second bracket. So we have 2xy times 4x, and that is going to give us 8x squared y. All right, so we have 2xy again times plus 5. We are going to be having plus 10xy. We have plus 3 times 4x. We are going to be having plus 12x. We have plus 3 times plus 5. We are going to be having plus 15. All right, so you can see that in simplifying or expanding these brackets, we use the first term to multiply everything we have in the second term. Then we move on to using the second term we have here to multiply everything we have in the next bracket. All right, so that's the way to go about it. So this is the best to which we can simplify or expand this bracket. There is nothing we can actually do here to simplify it further. Let's take one more example to have a deeper understanding of expansion of brackets. Now let's consider an expression such as 3y plus 2 plus 2x, okay, times 3x plus 2. In this case, since our first bracket is having 3 terms, we are going to use each of the term in this first bracket to multiply everything we have in the second bracket. So if this first bracket was having 4 or 5 terms, we will use each of the terms in that bracket to multiply everything you have in the second bracket. So let's consider the first term here. We have 3y. Now 3y times 3x is going to give us what? 9xy. Then 3y times plus 2 is going to give us plus 6y. Then we have plus 2, all right, times 3x is going to give us plus 6x. We have plus 2 again times plus 4 is going to give us plus 4. Times 2 rather is going to give us plus 4. Now we move on to the next last term in the first bracket, which is 2x. 2x times 3x is going to give us plus 6x squared. Plus 2x times plus 2 is going to give us plus 4x. So you can see we are actually done simplifying, all right, but we can still move further. We can have 9xy plus 6y, all right, plus 6x has a brother here, so we have 6x plus 4x, because we can add 6x to 4x because they have the same coefficients of x. So 6x plus 4x are in the same family, so we have 10x. Then
plus 6x squared plus 4. All right, so this is the best which we can simplify this expression. Now, if we're going to consider another example on expansion of brackets, it will be an example that has to do with expansion of multiple brackets. So let's say we're expanding 3 brackets. All right, if we're expanding something like, let's say 3x plus 2 all raised to the power of 4, or we have, let's say, 2y plus 7 all raised to the power of 5. Now, expanding this, if you're actually going to rewrite this, you'll be having something like 3x plus 2 times 3x plus 2 times 3x plus 2 times 3x plus 2. Now, expanding this might be quite tedious because you have to use this term to multiply this, you expand this, then that result you also use it to expand this, that result you also use it to expand this again. So you see that it's quite tedious. Likewise, if you are going to do same for 2y plus 7 or raised to the power of 5, you are going to expand this, it's going to be tedious. So there is another method for expanding terms to a certain power of like 4, 5, 6, 7, you know, and so on and so forth. And that's what we call binomial expansion. So in my next video, I'll be teaching binomial expansion, all right? So how you can actually simplify faster rather than expanding the expression you are given like this and trying to simplify them one after the other. So I'll be teaching you binomial expansion so that you will know how to go about that. So do well to subscribe and hit the notification bell icon so that you'll be notified when I make that video. If you would like to see more explanations on other math topics, click on the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell icon to be notified when I make another video. Also check the link in the description to get access to helpful math textbook on my Telegram channel right now.